carry afternoon.
Just one day doing all those things, the community, the CSR.
We start with the CSR, team building, then we have a reflection and close it out. I think it's, maybe we lock in a date for it.
Because as long as you don't, you have people in different places.
It's very hard.
Never get them together.
And
Maybe
so
then-
the only day we are all together is the summit. After that, it's very hard to get together. Now that's the same thing we have to do for this other day.
Can we do something on the annual retreat? Can we come in? No, it may be hard. Because that's where we have the Tanzanians and the Ugandans also around. Maybe they also have the issues. They're part of the team. I don't know.
We can have a session, but then after now make that culture. Once a month.
Do you have a budget?
You don't need a budget.
We don't need a budget for that.
Like
One
now,
is time.
Yeah.
time. If you decided to go for a walk, you need a budget too for a
No.
walk.
I can't even carry my own board games to work. I have my Scrabbles, my Ludos, my stuff, my Monopolies. I wish there's a time it can come that for me, we can look at this work and look at each other as human beings first. Relate more. Because you see, I'll get more of you, or you can get more of you, me, if I feel unaniangalia kama binadamu. But if for you I'm a machine, production machine, or you are a production machine to me, then I'll start putting tabs to the production lines.
Yeah, and it wears out.
It wears out. So those things help.
I think also the tricky part, and maybe what you're learning now, is that awareness of how people perceive it. Because you see, it's like maybe hard work is a burden for me. I will push myself and maybe also push everybody else, and not realize maybe you're not feeling valued. So I think it's just that part of knowing, like the way now like when you say Irene, if she tells me, maybe reaching that point of being like, if I said something, I wasn't coming from a bad place, and even asking me like, I didn't like what you said, how did you mean? And then we now explaining, and then we're like, okay.
Either.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And now those things are habitual. You have to make them happen.
Intentional. I think it's also going beyond seeing Teresa, for example, as in LSV children learning, to Teresa as a mother, a human being, who has challenges. Because it's very, divorcing yourself from home to work, much as we try it, or your life situations to work, it's very hard. So if there are days I'll see maybe, let me give you an example of Teresa now, I've observed her working with her. When schools are about to open or close, I know she'll get busy because she's a mother. So how am I sensitive as a person working with Teresa? I'll rarely call Teresa on Sunday. Rarely. Because I respect that space. But I'll call this guy on Sunday without feeling anything. Collins, I'll call him. Sunday 10 p.m. You will not send me the file. Because there's a way we work. So I think, I'm not saying I'm a good example of anything, but being aware that now when schools are about to close, is it okay for me even to know that Teresa can work one day from home? That's the human nature of work, I think. If I know Irene as a young child, much as now he's a bit old, should I know that the child can get fever and it's okay for Irene at once in a while to come in at 10 or 11, as long as work gets done. But if I were to treat Irene, Rachel, Sam, all of us as the same equilibrium, there's a book I'm reading on the power of leadership. And leadership is just one thing. Sensitive to the people you work with, bringing out the best in them.
So borrow that one, wait and you have to distill number 7. Wait for
And it's hard work. It's also, like Ben was saying, it's understanding people, the intricacies of people, and understanding their situations, but also being objective, still being professional. But I'm not using your situation to judge. The people know, this guy is through this situation, so then I'll use it to judge him. So it's just to understand you, then I can see our best work.
Is it that you also like to learn? Because when it comes to professional work, we are very, I think, aware. Like especially when it comes to consulting, we know people to support. And if you have institutionally done that and learned how
Yes.
to support them, what happens to
in-house.
What happens?
Actually,
We're the ones who have made it.
think we are blind, either by design or default. We're having very honest conversations here, right? Like I know, for example, let me use Irene. I talk to Irene as a friend. I know Irene as a young child. So how, when working with Irene, if Irene is late by 30 minutes or 1 hour, and she puts in 1 hour extra, is that okay? Would I look at Irene as a lazy person? If one day Irene comes and says, I cannot come to work because my kid is yada yada yada, but I can work from home, is that okay? You know, those are the things that make people feel valued. And when we talk to these young people, we're doing a survey on what young people are looking for in the space of work. There are those small things. It's not about money. You know, you think if you pay them, you pay somebody $1 million, they'll still go and find another person paying them $1 million. They will. But it is, or less. But then, you know, they can even take a pay cut. But for as long as the workspace, they're saying that the workspace influences their mental health. So, is knowing that Ben, for example, has these intricacies around it. And Ben will only tell me those intricacies if he trusts me. Utapata Ben maybe as you're gonna come out. As an example, please don't take this to heart. As an example, but can talk to Rachel. Then how Rachel as a leader supports Ben. You know, all of us are leaders in our own way. Maybe I can support Jay. I can talk to Jay. Jay, not to use it against them. That's what I'm trying to narrow down. If I come and tell you, Irene, this is my issue, don't use it against me. Use it to support me. But that goes back to trust. The biggest issue we got is
Trust. I hope it has come out now.
and you know,
What are they? Those are, you have them. You have the. You read for us. Sam.
amen. Creating an environment for getting feedback from all team members. That's question 3. Also, we start from question 1, but my brain does not work. Question 1. What have you learned about teamwork? That everybody brings something to the team. That there's no one way of doing things. The more ideas you have, the better. And this is everybody's businesses, my business, collectively supporting each other. Amen? Question 2. So the question is, what have you learned about leadership? That it's not about the experience that you have, but the ability to bring out the best of other team members. We all agree. Leadership influences organizational culture. We all agree. Leadership is not easy. It takes commitment. We all agree. On question 3, how does what you learned inform your moving forward? Is that we'll be creating an environment for getting feedback from all team members. We'll be incorporating team building activities and strengthening staff welfare. That the leadership team to create spaces for having difficult conversations. I think that's good. Oh yeah.
Spaces
Safe.
is good. Yeah, safe.
Oh, that's safe. Can create a space. Hey,
Because I think maybe that's also a big risk.
Yeah.
A safe space. Because sometimes, unless you're feeling safe, you cannot be safe.
you'll never.
In fact, maybe that's what you have.
Yes.
You feel safe.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you know, it will not come back. Or in a
I'll-
certain way,
yeah.
to haunt you.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, the word safe is very important,
safe is important. Because you could have the space,
but it's not safe.
but it is not safe.
Maybe as we go forward, we ask ourselves, how do we create safe spaces for the teams to work?
That's a big one.
How do I make sure that
How can you do that? Like, how can I make a space more safe? One thing I think is being vulnerable.
yes,
In terms of, I've struggled with this. Because you know the way you're saying, and then it's very hard to separate work and personal. So for me, I think there's a part of course, there's vulnerability.
amen.
Is that one? And empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think that, but I also think there's still something. I'm not sure what else. But there's something.
People know what they need.
They know.
People know what they need,
They
but
know.
they don't want to say.
They know. At our level of education.
where people can just put their thoughts.
You'll track my handwriting.
Is it likely to be used?
There's something that will be lost in typing.
No, this is
Okay, but suggestion box is
Yeah,
something we don't have. Maybe we don't need
Now,
to
partner organizations like this can have that suggestion because they have so many things to say. They don't know how to
First, I think we should even figure it out in-house.
in-house.
Yes.
We are the bigger problem.
Yeah.
If we sort ourselves out, we sort out the other people downstream.
there could be someone maybe like having like a hub all the information, but maybe they fear saying that this is what the staff is feeling, and without being crucified for it. So even without even having the suggestion box or anything,
Yeah.
are we able to become, can I be a safe space to call it, or you become like Abu Bashir, you know, because you can share with nobody.
It's like,
Oh my God, what was I saying? Oh my God.
and that's usually the issue. So we are it's like a, you know, the dancing knife game where shua, shua, shua. You know, it's a dancing knife game. I also think suggestion box, I agree, but I think let's avoid having smaller conversations before conversations. Let us come to the conversations with like a Pilatus wife. It's called Pilatus, Pilatus, yeah. Where I'm saying, if I tell Teresa, I don't need to sit with Irene or Collins or Rachel or whoever. If there's an issue that I see is a gap in Teresa, I can be confident enough to bring it and say, this is the gap I see in Teresa. I don't need to call smaller meetings. Just say, this is the issue, Teresa. If we do those things over time, we'll now create a culture where we know Sam struggles with this. And I'm vulnerable enough to accept it. But if I know that there was a meeting to discuss a meeting, then there's this meeting to discuss me now. Now, it's now a charade.
Yeah. And
So I'll
if
take shape, the shape you want me to shake, I'll take it.
yeah, and if you ask for help, then I'm not helped, but I hear it with Irene.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
And then you're wondering, how is this happening?
And I'm with Rachel here, for example, the whole day. Why can't Rachel just tell me, Sam, you're not being supportive, for example? Why do I need to hear it from Collins? Why are you discussing with Collins, or why am I discussing Collins with Irene? And that's why I'm using Irene as a good example. Irene will come and tell me, wait, leo ulikuwa na mambo mingi wewe. And I'll not feel so bad about it. I'll be like, enyewe, Mama Noah's travel and I'm with those kids and they're driving me crazy. You know? So how do you get to that level where when Irene doesn't need to go discuss me with Collins, but I just have a face off.
I think as a leader, it's managing people's interests, professionally or personally. I know your interest over time. I know your interest, so I can manage those interests to benefit you and make sure that you are satisfied. So if you are that kind of leader who is able to manage people's interests so that they win and you also win,
Yep.
you will balance everything out. They will come to you if they need something without feeling judged. Yes. But I also think it's the organizational personality assessment. Most of us are thinkers, don't feel things, so we just don't get things done. And I think somehow it's about we normally don't address just thinkers.
Then in addition to what you say, what has happened to us, and perhaps in the 6 months, we are now even more aware. We're able to say what it is. Because when we came here, when I mentioned, we were not saying it the way we are saying it now. So that's a good thing. So it means
It's a very good thing.
something has happened. We are aware. You're even saying blind spots because you're kind of seeing me now. There's how you saw me then. There's how you're seeing me now, and you're still thinking, okay, what else could change? You know, which is really, I guess that's good.
Good and
So
scary.
we are moving forward. I know, eh?
Because now as leaders, now I can approach you and tell you, both of us, all of us, this thing, now we are more aware. Now when I'm on my blind spot, I should be able to be vulnerable for Teresa to come and tell me, and not build knives around me. Because now, police knows that when we work together and some has this issue. So leadership now for us, I think going forward is vulnerability, and being able to accept that where you're not a Superman for human being.
And I think we are being honest, like, and I think it's vulnerable because you see, I could the sense that I have something to say to you, then I need to say it to you.
Not to other people. Keyword.